I like to think of myself as an environmentalist, as many people do. I don't drive a car, I recycle quite regularly, I make donations to an environmental charity when I'm able, but all that aside, I live the modern lifestyle. I've got my laptop, my mobile phone, central heating, most of the mod cons. Sometimes I have to stop and ask myself, could I give it all up if I had to? Or would I give it all up on principle? What would be my prospects in terms of physical health if I were to give up the modern life and, say, go and live on a farm or go and join an environmentalist commune or something? I find myself asking questions like this occasionally. I suppose what I'm really doing when I ask questions like this is questioning my commitment, as it were. Environmentalism is a fairly broad philosophy. Two people who both see themselves as environmentalists or green activists will sometimes clash on an ideological level. I've seen it happen. Yeah. Some people see environmentalism as a movement of the left, a leftist thing, but there is such a thing as free market environmentalism, supported by many conservatives. And yes, there are religious folks and religious movements espousing green values and environmentalist principles. See evangelical environmentalism. Here in the UK, we kind of have a history of far-right groups with environmentalist views, and to this day, far-right environmentalists still exist. I hear the word eco-fascism get thrown around sometimes. On occasion, I will hear this term being employed by left-wing commentators regarding the views of persons who call themselves deep ecologists. And sometimes I will hear right-wing commentators or right-wing journalists using the term eco-fascism to put down or denigrate the activities of groups such as Greenpeace. You may have heard of the philosophy called deep ecology. The ethics of this philosophy are interesting. There is an 8-point platform that proponents of deep ecology offer to clarify their position. Basically speaking, deep ecologists are for human population control, simple living, and wilderness preservation. Not everyone likes what the deep ecologists have to say. This philosophy has been challenged and criticized. Some deep ecologists have been labelled as radicals and misanthropes, in fact. Yeah, do some research on the deep ecology philosophy. You might find it interesting. I agree with some of the philosophy, but I think certain aspects of it are sadly misguided. Some of the criticisms levelled against deep ecology and those who defend it are valid criticisms. The environmentalist movement rose in the 1960s. There was a backlash against it in the early 70s, in North America in particular. Then again, in the late 80s, early 90s, there was a rise in environmental concerns and awareness. Once more came an anti-environmentalist backlash. Corporations became politically active in the 1970s as a response to environmental activism and pressure on various governments around the world. We saw new PR techniques being introduced by businesses and corporations in the 1990s to deal with the second wave of environmentalism. We've got a lot of greenwashing going on today. It's been going on for 20 years or more, actually. If you've never heard the term greenwashing before, it's like whitewashing in a way. It's a public relations campaign or tactic to put over a business or a corporation or an organization as being environmentally friendly, as caring about Mother Nature very deeply, you know. Millions of pounds or dollars are spent each year in an effort to make the world's most prolific polluters seem environmentally friendly. I would say a lot of people are quite naive when it comes to how corporations and businesses behave. You know, it's a sad thing, but it's true. A lot of former environmentalists have sold out to the almighty dollar, sold out to the corporations over the years. And I think it's true to say that the hairbrushed corporate image of today is in the minds of the children. The corporate spin machine has been able to put over various polluters, various, you know, prolific polluting corporations, put them over in a positive way, you know, that it's in the minds of the public now that a lot of corporations are, you know, a lot more environmentally friendly than they actually are. So genuine green activists are really up against it in the modern world. It is a high-stakes game being played, and dirty tricks are in play.